Lee Min-ho has always been a name that radiates success, charm, and unmatched popularity. From his early breakout in Boys Over Flowers to his global fame through dramas like The King, Eternal Monarch and Pachinko, he's remained one of Asia's most iconic actors. But just a few hours ago, everything changed. In a rare and deeply emotional interview, Lee Min-ho opened up in a way fans have never seen before. And what he shared shocked everyone to their core. Don't forget to subscribe right now, because what you're about to hear isn't just breaking news, it's the hidden truth behind the superstar's flawless image. For the first time ever, Lee Min-ho let the world see the tears behind his smile. The interview was aired live across multiple platforms. Fans expected a casual sit-down, maybe a promotional talk for his next project, or lighthearted stories from his career. But instead, what they witnessed was one of the most raw, honest, and soul-bearing confessions of his life. It started off normally. Lee Min-ho appeared composed, dressed in his usual elegant yet simple fashion. His smile was there, warm, polished, familiar. He even cracked a joke about aging, saying, "I still feel like Gu Junpyo inside, but my back tells me otherwise." The audience laughed. For a moment, it felt like any other charming Lee Min-ho appearance. But then came the question that changed the tone of everything. The host leaned forward gently and asked, "What's something about your life behind the cameras that your fans have never seen?" There was a pause. A long one. And then, for the first time in the interview, Lee Min-ho's smile faded. He looked down, exhaled deeply, and said, "Loneliness." That single word cut through the air like a knife. And then he explained. People always see the glamour, the fans, the applause. But what they don't see is what happens after I return home. After the lights go off. After the doors close. They don't see that sometimes I sit in silence, wondering if I'm still myself, or just a version created for everyone else. The room went silent. The host's eyes widened slightly, sensing how heavy this was going to get. And fans watching online? They were already in tears. Lee Min-ho continued, his voice calm but trembling slightly at moments. He spoke about how fame came fast and hard. One moment he was a struggling actor auditioning for minor roles, and the next, he was swarmed by fans across continents. But with the love came pressure. And with pressure came emotional isolation. I became everything to everyone, he said. A prince on screen. A brand ambassador. A role model. But no one ever asked if I was okay. They assumed I always was. And then, for the first time in years, he spoke about the car accident that nearly ended his career and life. The accident, which occurred in 2006, left him with a severe thigh fracture and injuries that still affect him to this day. That day changed everything, he said. Not just physically, but mentally. I realized how fragile life is. And yet, I didn't get time to process it. I went straight back to work. Straight back to smiling. He admitted that the long hours on set, the pressure to always appear perfect, and the fear of disappointing his fans pushed him to suppress his pain, both physical and emotional. Then came the most emotional part of the interview, when he opened up about love and loss. People think I've had a perfect romantic life. That I've been with beautiful, successful women. But what they don't know is that love, for me, has always been complicated. He didn't mention names, but the entire internet buzzed at the subtle references to his past relationships, especially the highly publicized one with Suzy Bae. When I love deeply. But this life, it doesn't make love easy. Schedules, rumors, distance, pressure from fans. Sometimes, I've had to let go of people I didn't want to lose, just to protect them. He paused, his eyes glassy. There was someone I thought I'd spend my life with. But I couldn't give her a normal life. I couldn't protect her from the storm that follows me everywhere. The host gave him a tissue. Lee Min-ho smiled softly, wiped his eyes, and said, "This is the first time I've cried on camera. But maybe it's time people saw that I'm human too." That single statement sent fans into emotional chaos online. #Lee Min-ho interview. Hashtag tears behind the smile. Hashtag protect Lee Min-ho. Hashtag you are not alone Min-ho. Social media exploded with support. Millions of fans began posting messages of love, strength, and encouragement. Fan accounts from across the world created a movement called hashtag You Are Enough Min-ho, reminding him that he didn't need to be perfect to be loved. Even fellow actors and celebrities started sharing the interview, calling it brave, necessary, and long overdue. One major actress wrote, "It takes a strong man to be vulnerable." Lee Min-ho just showed us the kind of strength that matters most. What followed next was perhaps the biggest surprise of the evening. The host asked Lee Min-ho, "Is there someone who helped you during your darkest times?" And his answer was quiet but powerful. "Yes," he said. "There's a woman I met years ago. She isn't famous. She doesn't live in the spotlight. But her kindness saved me." He didn't say her name. But fans immediately began speculating. Was this someone he had dated in secret? Was it someone from his past, possibly someone outside the entertainment industry? But what he did say was more important than who she was. "She reminded me of the boy I was before all of this. She told me I didn't need to pretend. And with her, I didn't." He shared how, even if their relationship didn't last, her words stayed with him. And it was that quiet strength, that unconditional care, that helped him rebuild his emotional foundation. By the end of the interview, Lee Min-ho stood up, bowed deeply to the audience, and said, "To my fans, I'm sorry if I've ever seemed distant. I was just trying to survive. But I promise, from now on, you'll see the real me. Not the perfect star. Just Min-ho. Just a man, trying his best." The applause was thunderous. The internet was overwhelmed. And for the first time, Lee Min-ho wasn't just a global superstar, he was a human being, letting people into his heart. In the hours that followed, messages from fans flooded in by the millions. Artists began drawing tribute illustrations of him crying with angel wings. Videos were made compiling his past smiles with the caption, "Now we know what you were hiding." Support poured in from over 80 countries. And through it all, Lee Min-ho stayed quiet. No press release. No agency statements. Just silence, and maybe, peace. Because sometimes, the loudest impact comes from the softest truth. And now, as the world watches, we see a new chapter beginning for Lee Min-ho. One not driven by image, or expectations, or flawless perfection, but by vulnerability, healing, and authenticity. So to Lee Min-ho, thank you. For taking off the mask. For showing us your heart. For reminding us that even stars cry. And to everyone watching, don't forget to subscribe, because in a world where so many hide behind filters and fame, Lee Min-ho just reminded us that real strength comes from being real. And that story? That's one we all need to hear.